Girls Gone Dead.
Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 130, Lamar, Girls Gone Dead.
You know, this is ironic because we are in the summer months. And if you do not know, there was a famous franchise of women. And, there were topless women during the summer in college and stuff like that.
I don't know what you're talking about, Lamar.
Oh, please. Good old Joe Francis started the franchise Girls Gone Wild, where women show their body parts. Was that DVD then, or was it VHS? I don't know.
It might have been. No, there was DVDs.
There was DVDs,
yeah.
So it was DVDs. Of course, that has gone away, and now we have Girls Gone Dead, which is playing on that.
Yep.
Boy, oh boy. So
yep. Basically, you have a woman she's like kind of a religious. She grew up with a religious upbringing. Her mother's very, very religious.
Yep.
But now she's in college, spring break.
Yeah.
She's going out with her friends.
Yeah.
And they have a house all to themselves. And girls start getting dead.
Do they start getting naked first, or do they start getting dead?
We'll talk about that.
Okay, we'll talk about that, the logistics and everything like that.
That's the basic plot.
Yes.
So to get down into the nitty-gritty, we have our categories.
Yes.
That will explain this film and how we're going to also come up with our final rating. And the categories are...
We're going to go with comedy first.
Comedy.
The next one, we're going to go with cameos. A lot of surprising cameos.
A lot of cameos.
A lot of cameos. The ending, which I have some wag my finger at you movie because you missed an opportunity. Then, of course, this is a horror movie, horror comedy. You have to talk about the gore. And, of course, TNA. That's not an airport. We're just going to call it female exposure because we don't want to get in trouble on YouTube.
Very well. Very
yes.
well. All right. Yeah. Well, comedy. I mean, there was funny bits. There was funny bits. And
yes.
The cameos were funny.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the people that were doing the cameos, there was bits of humor. I guess they played up on the ditzy girl humor. Maybe a little too much. So it had flashes of comedy. So I'm going to give it a 0.5 point.
I agree. The ditzy thing kind of went... We're going to get into the gore parts of things because there were some funny gore parts.
There was.
And I think that's what's safe because the problem is like the main character. I feel like she was the most uninteresting of them all. Everybody else kind of had more of a personality. Yeah. So it was kind of like, oh, she's on screen again.
Was she like the knockoff Tara Reid or something?
You might be on to something, Joe. I never thought about it. They couldn't get Tara Reid, or she's not young enough to play that part. So they got this one. So yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it had its moments. So yeah, 0.5 point for me. Cameos is the next one. You had the one and only little person with even little head guy, Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show.
Yes.
And with him was Sal the stockbroker. If you watch Howard Stern, he's on Howard Stern's show as well. You had Ron Jeremy.
Yes.
Who is a well-known adult film actor.
Yes.
We had Nico McBrain, the drummer from Iron Maiden, and we had Jerry the King Lawler, wrestling icon.
Linnea Quigley, she is a B-movie queen. She plays a fake Australian host.
Yeah. There was a lot of cameos, and for the most part, they did well. Like they've worked them in, and they gave them funny things to do. I would have liked to see maybe a little more Jerry the King Lawler. But what he was in was good. We'll talk about it. He had a good moment.
Yes.
I would like to see him a little more. I'm going to give it a 1 for cameos. I thought it was good. 1 point.
Yeah, they really found some good cameos for this one. So I agree. It's a 1. Yeah. We're going to talk about the ending next. Yeah. Because you said that Jerry Lawler did not have enough screen time. But
okay, so we'll get into the ending. I think they were trying to play off of like the Scream movies with this. They had a
Yes.
lot of the Scream tropes. In the end, spoiler alerts if you haven't seen it, the girl's mother, who's the religious fanatic, ends up being the killer. Her
Yes.
and the girl's ex-boyfriend, that I don't know what was going on there
Was
between
he
him
even
and
an ex? Was he just creepy?
I think, well, yeah, he might have just been a creepy guy that liked her, and her mother liked him for her because he
Yeah.
was religious or whatever. They end up being the killers in the big plot twist.
Yes.
Now, you don't like that.
No, that's not the part I don't like.
Okay.
Can we talk about Jerry Lawler's
Yes.
amazing? Okay, so
this
they
was
fight
good.
off the mom and everything like that, and they burn her or whatever, or they knock her out, but she gets back up out of nowhere. Jerry Lawler comes, kicks her, flips her upside down, and what does he say? He said, "Eat dirt, bitch," and just pile drive.
Give her pile driver. Yeah.
Is that like his signature move?
Jerry the King Lawler, that was known to be the master, the pile driver maneuver. Yes.
End of movie. That's all you needed. I watched it twice in laughter.
Yeah.
But then
so you don't like that they kept going after
no,
that?
they didn't need that. They ruined everything. Because even he said, "Oh, I didn't." His partner was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were a wrestling fan." He's like, "Well, you should ask my wife." I was like, "This is brilliant." Okay. Then she gets back up, and then they set her. I was like,
"Yeah." All right. So what are you giving it points wise then?
They need to learn their lesson. I'm giving them a 0.5 because they ruined a great ending. Because that's all you needed. That's it. You just needed him pile driving. And then it works with him being a wrestling legend. It's like, why did you do that? Like, why?
And it's never acknowledged. He's just a sheriff. It's never acknowledged that like he would know wrestling or whatever. Yeah. So it was funny. I'm giving it 1 point. I understand what you're saying. It's a good ending. It would have been a good ending spot. But as far as the actual plot is concerned, with their little plot twist, it was kind of expected that that's what it was going to be. But like you said, the pile driver thing, that was hilarious. So I'll give it 1 point. I didn't mind it so much.
They need to learn their lesson. They need to learn from me being so selfish and everything like that. They do. I'm sorry. Yes.
Well, kills and gore is next, Lamar.
They had one good kill, I feel like.
Just one?
No, two. I'm sorry. Okay. There were two because we get back to the comedy. Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that was the best one.
Give it away. Yes.
Well, this girl's talking to another guy, and they're getting, a little sexual, and she goes, "How about a little head?" And over a sudden, Beat's head gets cut off, flies off a balcony onto her lap, and then she's holding his little head. So that's good. That was
good.
I'm gonna give it. There was enough gore, I thought, and it was well done.
Yeah,
like it looked pretty good and stuff, and the Beetlejuice one was so good. I'm gonna give it 1 point for gore and kills.
They get a 1 point from me. The effort. It's not the best I've seen, Joe.
It's definitely not the best, but they had some comedy behind it.
Yeah.
So it was all pretty good.
Okay.
All right. And the category that we've been waiting for, Lamar. TNA.
1. There's nothing really. I mean, they had enough. Like, it's not even. Yeah. It's a girls gone wild horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those won the maximum amounts of points that I'm able to give Lamar.
I was just following the rules.
Okay, well, I'll follow the rules too.
What would you give it? Okay.
I'd give it a 10 for that. I mean, I could have rated all the rest of it zeros and it still would have get enough points. So okay. I'll give it a 1 to stay with our rules that we've laid out.
If you're gonna call a movie "Girls Gone Dead" and know about Girls Gone Wild, they did their due diligence with enough women being exposed. Respectfully, I'm sure they had releases talent releases.
Yes.
I'm sure they had their consent and everything. So,
well, Lamar, the score, you had 4 points to the movie. I
yeah.
had 4.5 points that I gave to the movie, which, and the average score for that would have been 4.25 as our final rating for the movie. But I'm giving it an extra point, an extra quarter of a point. I'm rounding it up. 4.5, Lamar.
Why, Joe?
I don't have to give you my reasons why.
I'm not even going to debate you. It's a 4.5. Yeah, just
Girls,
because of extra things. Yes.
There you go. Girls
Yeah.
Gone Dead.
Yeah.
4.5 out of 5 for the perfect turd.
But we have, some interesting facts about this movie, which
We do.
I think it was shot in Florida.
I think so.
It was shot in Florida in like the Daytona area.
Seems like it.
Seems like it. And then the guy's name, the cinematographer.
Richard Dine.
Yes. He lives here.
He lives here and owns and operates Dead Lizard Brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
So yeah, we're patrons there, I should maybe.
Yes.
So yeah, shout out to him, shout out to the local community and all that stuff and the support and making movies and movies that we like, or at least movies that have things that we like.
That's all somebody can ask for, Joe. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Peace.
Deuces.